Ladies and gentlemen, Octanes and Roadhogs, welcome to the first triple header of QRLS Season 6. We are in Week 3, ladies and gentlemen, and it is going to be a very exciting night in the QRLS. Joining me tonight in the booth, his first time pairing with me here in the QRLS booth, Night Leaper. Night Leaper, how's it going, my friend?
Yeah, it's going great. Really excited out here to see this triple header. You know, we love triple headers. We love to see as much Rocket League as we can get. I got a lineup of great teams going on here, and just can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, no question about it. And, you know, we're going to kick things off here tonight with an inter-division matchup in the Savage Division. Clarity United taking on the Bleacher Boys. Tale of two different teams here, Leaper. We have the Bleacher Boys, who currently lead the Savage Division at 4-2, and Clarity United, who currently sit at the bottom at 2-4, coming off of getting swept last week. Give us the dynamic here. Obviously, you've been in the league now for quite a few seasons at this point. Tell me the nerves that go into a interdivision match like this, especially when it's still so early on that the standings are close enough to make an impact.
Yeah, early season, of course, these are very nervous for all the players because you know that you are going to have to face this team again. And so you really want to get that first kind of hit in on them. You want to take that win away so that, you kind of got the other team feeling worried about the meetup again later down the road in the season. Both these teams, as you said, are actually exact opposites of each other with a 2-4 and a 4-2 win and loss here. It's really anybody's game here. The Clarity United, they won their first week, lost their second. So who's to say they can't win their third? But the Bleacher Boys, they have won both weeks. So I'd say they have a pretty equal shot of taking away this week too.
Yeah, and all time, these two franchises have seen each other quite a bit. They're both two of the original 6 teams in the QRLS. The Bleacher Boys lead the all-time series 17-13 against Clarity United. So a lot of history between these two teams. It's going to be a lot of fun to see if they can make some more history here tonight, Night Leaper. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to remind everybody that we do have the predictions up on the chat. Go ahead and wager your channel points and get yourselves all sorts of spicy rewards with our new channel point reward system, including discounts on the merch stores. And Night Leaper, I know you and me both have some merch.
Yeah, for sure. I love the merch. The jerseys are amazing. They're like surprisingly high quality. I love my jerseys.
Yeah, no question. And ladies and gentlemen, you could get one for yourself as well at a discounted price as long as you make the right call. Predict who is going to win this matchup. We are going to have one of these on all 3 matches tonight in the triple header, so a lot of opportunity to get some channel points in this triple header night in the QRLS. Leaper, we are about 10 minutes to go until kickoff. Both of these teams have some heavy hitters. Looking at the Clarity United squad, obviously Alex, a former league champion, multi-time All-Star. This guy is just, top tier in the league. They picked up the rookie Coltap, who seems to have just as high a player rating as Alex and also makes a big impact when he comes onto the field. On the flip side of things, the Bleacher Boys seem to have a whole roster full of really good, solid guys. No clear, quote-unquote, number one.
Yeah, the Clarity United, Alex is a fantastic player. But Panda is also very solid. And Coltap, we haven't seen too much of him. This is only his 3rd week here. And so you have to ask, what team or what player are they going to be playing tonight, Coltap or Alex? And then on the side of the Bleacher Boys, they have 4 very solid players. They have Eagle, who's a great defensive player. I had the privilege of being on a team with him a couple seasons ago. Jay Jr., who this is his first season, and he is doing very well. Pickle has been putting in a lot of work. He's really shown himself this season as a big contender. And the 4th member, Scraps, is also very high up there, and kind of competing up there with Kachow and other members of that rank.
Yeah, and, going back to Golden Pickle real quick, I love the quote. He's been putting in the work. Obviously was very excited to take on this franchise at the end of last season. when it was revealed that Alec Big would be taking some time away from the QRLS, and he went to work just like you said, and especially coming off of losing in the finals as a member of the Speed Demons, he's got a chip on his shoulder this season.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely wants to come out swinging right now, and that's what he's done. I mean, he's built a very strong team with four very reliable players. Overall, I'd be surprised if they don't go far.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And ladies and gentlemen, there is still 8 minutes to go, and I just want to reiterate that we have all sorts of exciting news that came out last week in the QRLS, including the QRLS is officially expanding again. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have 4 new teams on the horizon coming to the QRLS, and with that, we are going to split the league into 2 conferences. Night Leaper, this is huge news.
This is huge news. I mean, splitting it up into 2 conferences, this is a whole new kind of animal we're playing with here. It's going to, create so many more conflicts and rivalries between teams. It's going to make it so much more fun. Last time there was a big announcement like this with the team expansion. I know it was the biggest thing, everyone was hearing at the time. And expansions are great. It allows more players to hit the field. It's going to open up the QRLS to just a lot more action going on.
Yeah, and, it's honestly been such a ride here. This is ultimately going to put us at 16 total teams in the QRLS in a league that started with 6. So very, very exciting stuff. A lot of more news to come to kind of put the icing on the cake on that news later on in the season. Obviously, we can't give up all our secrets right away, Leaper.
Right. I mean, yeah, right.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear everybody's opinions on the expansion in the chat tonight. We've got 3 matches to do it. Give us your thoughts. Give us who you think you would want to see as a potential captain of one of the new 4 franchises going into Season 7. And with that, any active players and or new players coming into the QRLS, go ahead and fill out a captainship application and see if you can't make the cut to take the reins on one of these new franchises in the QRLS next season. Just under 5 minutes to go until kickoff, and Leaper, this is the first time I'll have ever asked you, but who do you think's going to take the cake tonight?
I think, personally, I got to go with the Bleacher boys for the night. I think they're going to take a 2-1 following kind of their streak they've got going here, 2-1 each week. They've really proven themselves with 2 consecutive wins in a row each week, and with Clarity coming off of a sweep last week, not even just a loss, they are definitely going to be down in the dirt. If this is a win, it's going to be an underdog victory for Clarity United.
And you heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead, take this last 5 minutes to influence your pick as you so choose and wager those channel points up and see if you can't hit big on this first match tonight. Interdivision, like we mentioned here, Leaper, there's a lot riding on this, especially like you mentioned. These guys are going to have to see each other at least one more time. Last season, we did see some teams have to fight each other 3 times, a.k.a. The ones that come to mind are 3 Rocketeers and Hammerheads because they met up in the playoffs.
Right, and you do love that it's those 2 teams. Probably the most famous rivalry in the QRLS, especially between those 2 captains. It's always fun to see those 2 go head to head.
Yeah, such a narrative, those 2 franchises, and then just to put the icing on the cake, the 2 leaders of said franchises also duking it out. Very Bird and Magic-like, if you will. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, there is still so much Rocket League that we are going to cover later tonight, and I just want to thank everybody for joining us here. Triple header. We have 3 total matches, 3 games apiece, and the next 2 matches, Leaper, we have never seen before in the QRLS.
Yeah, brand new matchups, which is surprising coming off of a full 10-week season last season that these guys did not meet up. So it's going to be very interesting seeing, not only how these teams pair up together, but how the players on them pair up together, because a lot of the players in here are rookies or were not on the team last season.
Yeah, and honestly, that's a very good point. Last season, we saw our largest rookie class ever this season's not quite as large, but still very big, and a lot of capable and very competitive rookies coming into the league, and especially now, Leaper, that there's a 4-man roster rule. Not every player is slated to play every game. So how do you think that's going to affect the award process towards someone like a rookie of the season?
I think it's going to make it, just a little bit tougher. If you are a rookie and you are a fourth man, you're not getting as much play time. But if your play time is really proving yourself, you're really putting in the work as that fourth man. You're what's the word I'm trying to? You're equal to your the person you're filling in for, and or above them in skill level. Then there's definitely spots there. I mean, I think there's definitely potentiality for a fourth man to get some kind of end of season reward.
Yeah, and honestly, we love to hand out these superlatives to all of the active players here in the QRLS. We absolutely love recognizing the hard work and the effort that a lot of these players put in because, as you know, Leaper, and as well as I know as well, this is a long season.
It is. 10 weeks is a long time. It doesn't seem like it is, but these seasons do go on for quite a while. Unfortunately, the off season is even longer. I do miss the league during those times, but I'm not going to say that 10 weeks is too long.
And ladies and gentlemen, just about 2 minutes to go until kickoff. Players are starting to roll into Champions Field here tonight, and it is going to be such a fun match. Kicking things off with a division matchup, and then the next two are matches we have never seen before in the QRLS. So, Leaper, I just want to thank you again for joining us, and this is going to be a good one.
It is. Like I said earlier, I'm very excited for especially this kickoff with two teams that are so familiar with each other. It's going to be a lot of fun.
And you rose the question earlier on in the stream, and honestly, I'm going to have to ask again, maybe for the chat, maybe just for you specifically, but who does Clarity United play? Is it Alex or is it Coltap? Because that is the only sub that they can make of the 4 men on the roster.
Right. I mean, if I'm Alex here, the Bleacher Boys are a very strong team. I think he's going to come out, swinging with himself first. I think he's going to at least open with him as the third man. And then if things go bad or if things go good, maybe he drops in Coltap. I think he's going to open with himself, though.
And honestly, even regardless of who opens the series, right? Like that sudden change, regardless of who comes in or out, just changes the game immensely, right? Because it is not the same player anymore.
It's a huge throw off to the other team. I mean, if you can use it right and you can really throw in a player that's going to play differently, have kind of a different style, it can, knock your opponent off feet and kind of make them have to rework their plays.
Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have players starting to filter in here. Both teams seem to be in the lobby. We are just waiting for kickoff to get underway before we transition to the first match of this beautiful triple header. What a nice night, too, here, Leaper. Very, very cozy kind of night for some Rocket League.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to have the atmosphere to fit the attitude. So.
And ladies and gentlemen, these two teams are going to duke it out for possible reigns of the Savage Division. Bleacher Boys are going to look to extend their division lead. Meanwhile, Clarity United hoping to crawl back to the top where they are so usually accustomed to being during the season. Leaper, this is a team that is a former championship franchise.
Yeah, it is, and it is surprising to see them on a sweep from last week, but they definitely are looking here to kind of regain their standing in the ranks. But it does look like players have hit the field.
And ladies and gentlemen, kickoff is about to be underway. Alex is starting the game for Clarity, and I want to point out Golden Pickle is back. We did not see him at all in week 2, but he is here for game number 1, and we are underway. Eagle now pushing the offensive for the Bleacher Boys. Golden Pickle can't get the 50 on Alex, and this is going to be high intensity the whole time, Leaper.
This is going to be high intensity. I mean, this lineup that they got going here is is very cool. They have a Jay Jr. and Coltap sitting out here, and so you have to make the question of if either of them are going to be participating later in the night. Jay Jr. definitely is one of the key players of Bleacher Boys, so you have to wonder how Pickle's gonna kind of sub him in and out.
And look at this beautiful double tap, just a little kiss by the captain, Alex, to put that thing in and give Clarity a 1-goal lead.
Great goal there by Alex. Loved the little touchdown over behind Pickle. But you know, that's just how Alex rolls here, and he's probably not going to be even the craziest one of the night.
And we have a 1-goal lead for Clarity United 30 seconds into this match, but it is still anybody's game here. Bleacher Boys trail with 4:17 remaining. The Jet patiently, Panda puts one towards the net. What a save by Scraps, who has, as you mentioned in the pre-show, done very, very well so far to start this season.
Yeah, he has. I mean, both these teams seem to be pretty comfortable with each other. I can see that the Clarity United here seems to, like you said, seems to be playing just a little bit more patiently. They're very calm in their movements here, and they're really always looking for that shot. And then right there, Jet with a beautiful crossover. Perfect shot right there.
Jet almost with a pass to himself, a very crazy bounce off that sidewall. Great job to read it. Jet gets a goal in, and we have a 2-goal lead now by Clarity United. And, you know, Leaper, you considered them the underdogs to start this.
I did. I mean, you know, everybody does love an underdog story, but they're definitely making me eat my words with Alex getting another goal right there off of a pass from, I believe, Panda. Yeah, Panda. They really are showing their team plays out here.
That was a beautiful face-off. Great read there by Alex. And you have to assume that was calculated.
You can only assume it's calculated.
And we have another kickoff, 3-goal lead by Clarity. They are piling it on here early in the first game of this 3-game matchup. Scraps pass out, and Pickle puts one in, and now we have a 2-goal deficit. Bleacher Boys looking to cut in.
They are definitely looking for that comeback here. I mean, Scraps and Pickle, I know, have a very good chemistry. I'm imagining the Bleacher Boys as a whole do. It looks like they, just taking a little bit more time than Clarity to kind of think into their roles.
3:30 to go. Beautiful demo on the face-off by the Jet, but now Golden Pickle puts one towards the net. Panda gets the save on that one as we have now a recollected offense by Clarity United. Panda towards Alex. Alex looking for the bump instead, gets the demo. And now Bleacher Boys back against the wall once again.
A great demo there by Alex. It did not seem to phase Bleacher Boys whatsoever. Pickle maintained that control over the ball, and I mean, he's even pushed it out here to an offense, so they're going to have to work just a little bit harder than that.
3 minutes to go here, ladies and gentlemen, and it is a 2-goal lead courtesy of Clarity United. Another beautiful demo there, this time going the other way. Alex on demo again at net. There is so many parts all over this field.
Second demo there from Alex on Scraps. You have to wonder if that's just his strategy at this point. If I was any of the Bleacher Boys, I'd definitely be on the lookout now.
Yeah, Alex, one of those guys that will be able to demo you if he really wants to, and it is going to be pretty crucial to see if he can keep that numbers advantage up. But nonetheless, halfway in to game number 1 here. 2-goal lead still. Haven't seen a goal in about a minute or two, but Clarity United still leads by 2 goals. And the Bleacher Boys trying to recollect. And what a shot! What a save by Scraps.
It was a great save by Scraps. The defense of the Bleacher Boys does seem to have increased since the start of the game. Maybe they just had a rough start. Kind of let the first couple of goals get to them, but they have seemed to have found kind of a nice standing ground here.
2-minute warning here. We have 2 minutes to go. Bleacher Boys looking to cut into this deficit. 1 goal will make all the difference here for them if they can find the back of the net, but they're going to have to get some transition offense going for that to happen. What a save by Eagle. Another save this time by Golden Pickle.
The defense of the Bleacher Boys right now is pretty much on point. I mean, I know Jet and Panda both wanted those. They both looked for the shot there. They definitely wanted those extra points there, and just a little bit of an overpass there by Alex. Looks like it just could not set it up for Jet.
Golden Pickle floated one up, and Panda got a save some way, somehow. And now we still have a 2-goal deficit approaching the 1-minute mark here, Leaper, and Clarity United looking to just hold on to this 2-goal lead and win their first game since week 1. And do we think that Bleacher Boys can cut in here?
And they definitely can. There's all the opportunity. I mean, they have 1 minute. We have seen a lot more and a lot less. So I think they have it in them. It's just whether or not they can keep this pressure on the on Clarity. I mean, they really need to get this ball into their offensive if they any of taking it here tonight.
Eagle looks for the shot, doesn't quite get what he needs on it, but now Pickle at the mid, 30 seconds to go. Bleacher Boys need a goal right now in order to have a shot at even possibly getting a second one, as Clarity United gets that clear into the corner. 20 seconds ticking down. Panda running this thing to where the Bleacher Boys don't want it. Gets a 50, but now Scraps gets this thing cleared, but nobody can seem to put the ball in the net if you are on the Bleacher Boys right now.
Clarity United is holding quite a line here at the midfield. They do not want this ball on their side of the field whatsoever.
And this clock will hit 0, which means it is impossible for the Bleacher Boys to tie this game, which means Clarity United will take game number 1 here. What was the difference maker here in game number 1? Bleacher Boys, like you mentioned, just couldn't get past that midfield line.
Right. I mean, you know, Clarity United right now does seem to have a very strong defensive line. A lot of saves here from both teams, I am noting. Clarity United with a lot more shots here. So, you know, as it seems like they're letting, you know, kind of the front 2 players work it up in offense, and but they're not abandoning their defensive line. I saw a lot, Bleacher Boys would push up like kind of in force in a mass, and then there would be almost this like hole in their backfield. So I think if they can really tighten up those rotations, they'd have a better shot.
We will see if the Bleacher Boys can answer here. Going into game number 2, Bleacher Boys looking to avoid their first series loss of Season 6. And ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, the more channel points you earn, the more spicy rewards that you can cash in on. Go ahead and find yourself something spicy, including coaching sessions and merch store discounts and much, much more. We are getting ready to go here in game number 2. If you are new to the QRLS, we do play 3 total games in the series, regardless of series record, which gives both teams an opportunity to potentially win 3 games in a row. Clarity United leading this series 1-0. And it looks like no lineup change here for either side in game number 2, Leaper.
Yeah, you have to wonder, you know, Alex is probably thinking, you know, we did really well last game. I want to keep the same thing going. Even though Coltab is a great player, he probably, you know, wants to keep the same flow that they already got going. And for Pickle, he's definitely trying, I think, to put out what he thinks is probably his strongest lineup, because they're really looking, they need to win this game if they want to take it home tonight.
And Pickle can't quite get the clear he needs at the mid, but Eagle up in the air. Potential double tap for him, nobody home. Golden Pickle keeping the ball in the corner, trying to get a pass off. Alex runs out of boost there. Scraps puts one towards the net, misses near side. Eagle puts a shot on. What a save by Clarity United.
Yeah, what a great catch there by Jet. But I just want to point out that Alex save, where he got 3 touches on that ball with no boost whatsoever. That really does go to show the skill that this guy has.
Yeah, one of the best in the league so far, and his accolades continue to stack up, and you have to arise the question, is he in that GOAT conversation?
He definitely, Alex definitely holds an easy spot in the GOAT conversation for this league, in my opinion.
Big transition here by Clarity, thwarted by Eagle, who looks to get past the Jet. Jet gets a good touch, but Golden Pickle squares it up, puts one in. Bleacher Boys have the lead.
Upward 90 shot there by Pickle. See, they really working the offense here. You know, he was right there where he needed to be. Caught it right off of the defensive play of Jet. It seems like the Clarity's defense was just a little bit empty there.
And this is the Bleacher Boys' first lead of the evening, as we see 3:39 to go. Clarity plays from behind. Panda, this one's towards the net. Scraps gets the save. Dangerous touch, though, as Eagle gets the clear before Alex can get in there. And now with 3:30 to go, Bleacher Boys, you know, albeit with a lead, starting to play a little faster.
They are definitely picking up their pace. They're looking to make, you know, they're trying to get as many chances as they can here. Both teams are pretty even right now, a lot more even than they were last game. Kind of looking more towards what we were seeing at the end of last game. It's kind of just like, in the middle of the field kind of game right now.
Eagle in the corner trying to get it out of his defensive zone. Scraps with a clear across the net, across the top crossbar. Gets one touch, gets by one defender, only has Alex to beat, but that is the hardest guy to possibly beat. Former savior of the season last season.
Yeah, Alex is a force to be reckoned with on defense. You have to wonder if he's going to get that savior again this season. I mean, it's always a possibility. It is Alex, of course. He's not the person you want to see going against you on defense.
Alex looking for the double tap there, put too much mustard on it as we see now a flick by Eagle, looking for the bump, and that might have thrown the defense off, but it looks like the pass over to, I think it was Scraps, just couldn't quite get the calculated touch, and Alex, bar down, ties this game.
Another beautiful aerial goal here by Alex, again on, or actually on Eagle this time. He's just too quick.
And with 2:13 to go, it's anybody's game now here, Lieber, as with a 1-1 game. Clarity United, which team has the momentum right now? Bleacher Boys have led for the majority of this game, but Clarity United obviously with the last goal.
Yeah, Clarity United, has had the last goal, and they seem to be having a much more present offense. Although, as I say this, of course, it is in the Clarity side, but overall, I feel like I've been seeing the ball a lot more on the Bleacher Boys defensive.
1:46 to go. Still anybody's game. This one's towards the net, hits near side. Golden Pickle now transitioning in offense with Eagle, running this thing through the corner, looks for the pass. Pickle's there. What a play!
What a shot there by Pickle. Placed it right in between the Jet and Panda there. I mean, beautiful placement. He knew exactly where he was going with that pass.
Great pass by Eagle. Great shot by Pickle, his second of this game alone. And we have another Bleacher Boys lead with 1:31 remaining in game number 2. Bleacher Boys looking to even up this series. Scraps kick at the 50 on Panda. Alex now in his defensive zone. Lets this thing fall down. Nice and patient. Gets the bounce over one. Gets the 50 over another. No. Pickle beats him to it. Pickle now puts another one on net. This one's towards, and Panda gets the clear. Pickle is playing out of his mind right now, Leaper.
Pickle is definitely leading his team here. A valiant effort. They do hold the lead, and they're definitely looking to hold that lead for the next minute. They do not want to lose this one. They want to run it into the next one, tie it up, and definitely look for the series win here. And they might have the chance the Clarity United just can't get the save. Kind of a roll in there by Golden Pickle.
And an unfortunate touch it looked like there by the Jet. Just an awkward angle. Puts this one in. Pickle gets the hat trick here. 3 goals in game number 2, as with less than a minute to go, Clarity has to get urgent.
Yeah, they're definitely looking for these 2 goals. It is possible, a minute left. I wouldn't put it past them, but they're definitely going to have to amp up that offense and really get it out of their corner here. Seems to have been stuck here for the last minute.
Alex catches this thing at the midfield, gets over one Bleacher Boy. Eagle collects and gets the clear. Jet puts this one towards the net. Net's wide open. Pickle with a save.
No, Jet wanted that one. He was following that so much. But Golden Pickle out here, not only leading this team with scores, but also being a great defender here. They all are tied for saves, but he's definitely putting in both offensive and defensive plays.
And with 5 seconds to go, Panda puts one towards the net. Alex trying to collect. Not enough time on the clock as Bleacher Boys tie the series, and we have a good one going into game number 3, Leaper.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that could make this better is game 3 overtime. Amp up those tensions just a little bit more.
Yeah, Golden Pickle getting the hat trick in game number 2, leading his Bleacher Boys squad. Give me a little bit of rundown. Much different Bleacher Boys team than we saw in game 1.
Yeah, this is definitely more team play oriented Bleacher Boys, I'd say. It seems like they're working a little bit more well together. If you look at the scores here, we can see that Eagle has 2 of the assists for the 3, so there's a lot more team plays overall going on here. And they definitely have, just in general, a lot more shots than Clarity. I mean, the more shots you put on, the greater chance of a goal you're going to get.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, I want to point out the unorthodox 1 goal, no shots by Alex there in Clarity United in game number 2. Very interesting stat line, to say the least.
Yeah, those are always fun to get. I've had a few over my time in the QRLS.
And you got to think that both of these teams are chomping at the bit. 1-1 series here, Leaper. Is this the time we see a sub?
It could be, and if it's going to be any sub, I'm going to say it's Clarity United, but it doesn't look like they're going to sub anybody out. It looks like for all 3 games we're running the same lineup.
All 6 players have remained in all 3 games. We will see how this one plays out. Clarity United, Bleacher Boys, 1-1. Winner takes the series here in game number 3. Kickoff is underway. Alex QRLS in his defensive zone scraps way up to get that thing back into offensive pressure. Eagle now in the corner. Pushes this one towards the wall. Alex in reverse gets the flip, gets by, gets a flick. Scraps now just barely stops that pressure. We almost saw a highlight.
Almost. I mean, that would have been a very crazy clip there for Alex, but almost a goal there for the Jet. The Bleacher Boys seem to have a pretty strong offensive play here, especially in the beginning. They were keeping that thing pretty pinned. They were keeping the Clarity kind of, backs against the wall. But it seems like, it's kind of evened out here. Both teams are kind of controlling possession.
50 by Alex. This one rolls down in front of the net. Beautiful clear there by the Bleacher Boys. But Alex still keeping the pressure on. Has boost. Kicked the reset, however, as we still see more pressure by Clarity United.
Yeah, it looks like almost a double commit there. Beautiful demo there by Jet. Alex is looking for the big shot here and just can't get it.
Big push by Panda. We still haven't seen much offensive pressure by the Bleacher Boys, as Clarity just keeping the peppering on here. Nonetheless, Scraps gets bumped out of the way. Another catch, this time Eagle. Flick over Alex. Gets by him.
Eagle there with a double touch. I mean, I love to see it. Eagle is one of our better players, in the mid categories for definitely defense and offense. It's good to see. Was that his first goal of the night, I believe? So.
Yeah.
But Bleacher Boys definitely, working. Yeah, former finals. Yeah.
Former finals MVP is Eagle, former league champion. A lot of experience in the QRLS for him. Great goal there over Alex, who did give him a little nod in the chat. And Jet puts another one in. And this time we have a 1-1 game off the banger by the Jet.
Love to see it. Ex-captain of Clarity. It's great to see that he's still going here on the team, still going strong with his second goal of the night and the only goal for his team this game. So we have to wonder if, is this all they're going to get? Is this going to run to an overtime, or are we going to see a couple more plays here?
Alex gets a big save there off the boomer by the Bleacher Boys, and now Scraps puts this one towards the net. Panda gets the big clear. Big transition opportunity here for Clarity United. Panda looking for the pass. Big 50 by Pickle to push this thing into the offensive zone. And we see with 3 minutes remaining, still anybody's game here. 1-1 game, 1-1 series. This is exactly how you would want to draw it up here, Leaper.
Yeah, great demo there by Jet 2 on defense. Definitely, kind of got Scraps out of the equation, made sure a shot wasn't possible there. Yeah, I would like to see, Clarity kind of just amp up their, their little push here. Panda's also moving up for a shot. Panda's been kind of quiet tonight. I want to see him come out and maybe get a goal or some crazy save out here.
Panda with a big clear into the offensive zone, misses wide of the net. However, Eagle catches in his corner. Big 50. Panda shoots that thing back towards the Jet, who gets the push into the offensive zone off the ceiling. Doesn't quite get it. Alex now. Another big play. Eagle puts one towards the net. Panda volleying this thing back into the offensive zone. Back and forth like ping pong.
Yeah, that was a great play there. This seemed like it might have been a double commit for the Bleacher Boys, but wow, another great shot there. A huge aerial goal. This is definitely his game.
Eagle with a great shot there. Credit Scraps with the assist. 2-1 lead here, courtesy of the Bleacher Boys. 2 minutes to go in game number 3. Remember, this is for the series, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if Clarity can answer back. The Jet can't get the 50 on Golden Pickle. Alex, however, follows this thing up at the mid. Panda gets the touch, gets this out of goal's path. And we see a big commit here by Golden Pickle off the back wall. This one could be danger, but big clear as Clarity United are still back against the wall. Eagle, back wall, nobody home. Panda with a great defensive presence there on that possession.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a great job here of making sure the Bleacher Boys just don't got any kind of room to think out those shots. They're not giving them any kind of time whatsoever, which is kind of what they need. They really need to get them on their feet, or get them off their feet here. I guess is the better saying, and kind of find a little crack in their defense and get a goal here.
And a bump on Eagle, squares this one up, but Scraps gets there in time, passes the Pickle off the back wall. Eagle's there. What a save by Alex.
Yeah, great. I mean, Alex, way to be there. Definitely knew. I mean, he took complete control of that ball, took it all the way downfield, and just gets a goal right there on top of two of Bleacher Boys players tying it up.
Put that in the goals of the week already, ladies and gentlemen. What a shot by Alex, coast to coast, to tie this thing up in the most critical moments of this third game of the series.
Yeah, he has full control over that thing. And that's why we're here. We're here to see those crazy goals.
2-2, 34 seconds to go. Clarity just tied this thing up, and they put one towards the net. Scraps with the save. Alex went to put the nail in the coffin, but instead, we still have a tie game. The Jet can't get the 50 there on Scraps, but now Alex pushing more offensive pressure. Gets the touch, almost squeezes it in, but hits the near post.
Yeah, I mean, tied up, 10 seconds left. They're really looking for a shot. Scraps with a shot, and just a slight miss there by Clarity United. This is a huge goal here for Bleacher Boys. Could possibly mean a win if Clarity United can't, answer back.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was Alex too that didn't get that touch on that save. He's got to be kicking himself. 8 seconds. It's not impossible, ladies and gentlemen. Can Clarity tie this thing up with no time left on the clock? Alex puts one towards the offensive zone. Scraps looking to ground this thing. Big touch by Clarity. Still floating. Jet kisses it up. It's where Alex wants to be. Puts one towards the net. Back post. Panda, no. What a clear by Pickle.
Dude, this has been up for the longest time. Oh, and it looks like it's gone down in here. Wow, Clarity United really made one last push there, trying to tie that up. But it does look like Bleacher Boys are going to take this first series 2-1, I'd like to say, as I predicted.
Yeah, and honestly, what an insane series. The Bleacher Boys coming out on top. They were the heavy underdog in the prediction side of things. However, as you predicted, Leaper, they will take this first series. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We have another insane match coming up, including the Spectres and the Hammerheads. Stay tuned.